This segment we're going to be doing maintenance on flex shafts. First thing you're going to want to do, unplug your unit and take the handpiece off. It's not rocket science, it's going to be very easy, there's just very little to do. We'll go through every step. We're going to start out with doing the maintenance on the shaft and sheath. Lay your motor out on a flat surface. A couple of tools you're going to need are at least a 1-inch crescent wrench or spanner, flathead screwdriver, some of our Foredom Flexshaft grease, and a rag. And what you want to do then is unscrew the set screw on the motor connector, which loosens up the sheath. And you slide the sheath all the way off. What we're doing here is we're going to re-grease our shaft and sheath. It needs to be done every 40 hours of use. What you want to do is wipe it down. Then what you're going to want to do is, after you wipe it off, is take your grease and put a very light coating on, maybe about I don't know, 1/16 of an inch bead down, all the way on down to, say, about, I don't know, 5 or 6 inches from the bottom. After you do that, you put your sheath back on. And slide that up. As you notice that there's a lot of play in between here. This is right where it bottoms out, and you could all bottom it out right up to there. But of course, what will happen then is you're going to have too much of your shaft sticking out from your sheath tip. To adjust the shaft and sheath, you want to adjust it so that you've got just about 3/4 of an inch sticking out. And you do that by sliding this in and out here. And once you get the proper adjustment, you retighten down the set screw, because that's what holds the sheath in adjustment to the shaft on the motor connector. After you're done adjusting the shaft tip for its adjustment, what you're going to need to do is, before you put the handpiece back on, you need to run your motor for about between 10 and 15 minutes at high speed. A lot of times what I'll tell people to do is put a trash can so that the shaft drips over it. What this will do is it'll heat up and rework and redistribute all the grease throughout all the way on down, and any extra will drip out into your trash can and not into your handpiece. If grease gets in your handpiece, it'll start making it overheat. Now what we're going to do is I will show you how to take off and replace the shaft. You take off the shaft using the 1-inch crescent wrench on your motor coupling here, on the motor connector, and what you do is, it's a left-handed thread. It's unlike the opposite one, the normal ones. So once you unscrew that, you don't need to remove the sheath from the motor connector. Now that that's done, you can pull that off, and you'll see the motor coupling, the shaft coupling right here onto the motor shaft. You unscrew this, and off it comes. And as you can see, that there's a flat area here on the motor shaft. It's on this flat that you want the set screw to set on your new inner shaft. When you put the new one on, you put that on all the way up tight, and you just screw this in. Don't forget, you're going to have to lubricate that new shaft, just like I showed you a minute ago. Now slide your motor connector and shaft assembly, sheath assembly, on the shaft all the way on up. Rethread that on. Remember that it's a left-handed thread, not your standard right hand. Tighten it up. You're definitely going to want to make sure you've got the correct adjustment to 3/4 of an inch of your inner shaft sticking out from the sheath.